Hello, this is Jill Wilker, one of your judge advisors for the first Tech Challenge West Super Regional, the very last of the Super Regional, so thank you. This is a pretty short slide deck. I think most of the people who are actually on tonight's call probably know most of this stuff because they're actually here in Spokane, but perhaps this will be of benefit to those, and then at the end we'll open it up for some questions. So in case you don't know where we're heading to the Spokane Convention Center. It's not far from the airport, so this is kind of a zoomed out view. I have a couple other views. But when you get to the airport, there's a couple different ways to get to the convention center. Obviously, if you are renting a car or driving in, assuming you'll get that managed, there is a public bus, costs $1.75, takes 36 minutes. I personally did Uber. You can also do Lyft. Costs roughly $15 to $20 and takes a lot less time. So anyway, there's several different options. So you can take a look at the SpokaneTransit.com if you want to learn more about the bus. Otherwise, I think the others seem pretty straightforward. This is a little bit more zoomed in look. We're right on the Spokane River. There's several hotels nearby. The main event hotel is the DoubleTree, which is literally connected into the convention center. So here's a satellite view of the same thing. There's a performing arts center. We have the DoubleTree Hotel, and then what looks almost like a boat shaped is the convention center. If you drove or have a rental car, parking is underneath. And so you can come off of Spokane Falls Boulevard, pull in, and there's parking underneath. It does cost $10, and there's no in and out, so it's $10 every in. I guess you can go in and out, but you pay each time. So just take that into consideration. It's walkable distance from most of the hotels that are nearby, and so hopefully everybody can make sure that is okay. Here's a little bit more zoomed up of the interior of the space. The DoubleTree is shown pretty small. It actually isn't that small, but the breakfast every day and volunteer check-in in the morning will be at the DoubleTree. If you miss breakfast or you check in a little bit later, they're going to move or open up volunteer check-in in the sort of lobby area that they call Hall D in the morning by 7:45. So if you come in from the DoubleTree and basically you're walking along this tan walkway, it kind of dumps right into that lobby area. So it should be pretty straightforward, but it's technically called Hall D. Once you check in either place, the judge's room is on the lower level in 302. Now, it says 302, and I confirmed that with Adrian, but I swear when we walked through it today, we got in this elevator in Hall D and we went to the first floor. So your mileage about the whether we're in room 302 on the first floor is what I believe is accurate, but I wouldn't swear to it. So, but it is basically this elevator in Hall D. It's got the E symbol, and right next to it is some escalator and some stairs. But you go down to the first floor, come out and around, and we are basically right in this area where there's like a yellow diamond or triangle area. So that's the judge's room. Our interview rooms are right next door. So 302A and B is our judging room that we'll be in for most of the weekend. 303 we'll use for our interviews. So right next door to each other. Okay. Any questions so far about the venue, where things are located? Anyone who drove in may have some advice from those who were driving in the morning? Okay. So schedule overview, what was happening today is they obviously were setting up for the event. The teams have started to arrive and set up their pit area. Tomorrow we'll have our judging, particularly the judging interviews, the formal interviews in the morning. And then the teams will also do inspection, they'll have a driver meeting, and we will start qualification matches tomorrow afternoon. So Friday afternoon, it's a change from previous super regionals. The qualification matches are actually starting the first day. They'll continue on Saturday and they'll finish all qualification matches on Saturday. And then Sunday morning, they'll come in, do alliance selection, the final rounds, and our awards. So from a judging perspective, we are going to have all of our scripts and everything needing to be done pretty early on Sunday. So the award ceremony, as we'll go into the next slide, has a next set of details, is right after lunch. So here's kind of a more detailed level. As I mentioned, volunteer check-in starts at 7 along with breakfast at the DoubleTree. We'll start a coordination meeting shortly, 7:45, hopefully. I'd like to get started a little bit on the early side, particularly if you're a rookie judge or are just landing, coming a little bit early so that you can take a deep breath and we can kind of get you all up to speed, particularly if you're a rookie, would be really great. We'll do our judge interviews 9 to 1, and I think there's actually it actually goes to a little bit past 1. I think it may go to 1:30. I pulled this from the team schedule, and I think actually there's one judge interviewing after the lunch break. Then we'll come back together as getting our shortlist together. We'll go back out by 3 o'clock when the match play starts and the drivers meeting is over, and that'll get started basically roughly 3. We'll be done at 6 o'clock. There will be breakfast and lunch only on Friday. So dinner will be on us or on yourself. On Saturday, we'll get started again pretty early. We'll have a coordination meeting, see how things are going, march up for the opening ceremony at 8:30, and then the judges will be off and running. We'll have a more detailed schedule to relay on Saturday morning on exactly how the day will work. We're hoping, I got to figure out where to put dinner in this schedule because dinner's on our own. We may figure out something that we can do, but we need somewhere between Friday and Saturday to do our Compass and Promote videos. So we are reviewing those and making the decisions on those as well.
How many do we have, Jill?
I don't know yet. That is a good question. So I will learn that hopefully. The deadline was yesterday, so I'm hoping that I'll get the list from Adrian or Susan hopefully today. But it'll either be late tonight or tomorrow. I'll get the list of how many submissions we have. So in the worst case, we have a lot of 72 or so. We may need more than that. We'll see. Once I know how long it takes, we may be able to sort of take a dinner break and then come back and watch videos. We don't actually have to do it in the venue. So we could actually go to someplace in the DoubleTree, or here I'm at the Marriott at the Davenport. We can figure out a place to watch videos whoever's interested.
Jill, you're suggesting we watch them in the bar?
That is an option. We will decide, yes, before, once I know how many, then we can figure out the logistics of where. And then, so we'll need to have most of our decisions pretty much done by the end of day Saturday. Sunday, we'll do any final kind of tweaking, script writing. We'll need to get the script over to the MC and so forth. I don't know the exact time that will need to be done, but I'm assuming at least an hour and a half before the award ceremony at 12:30. And then we'll have a break. Hopefully we're done in enough time we can watch the finals, which is always fun. Go to the award ceremony, and then we're all done at 1:30. The important thing for Sunday is eat a very hearty breakfast, because my understanding is that lunch is not available on Sunday. I need to double, triple confirm that, but I need to, that's what I currently understand, is that they're not officially taking a lunch break. So we may need to rope in some power bars or whatever to sustain us, and then go and have a celebratory early dinner, late lunch on Sunday. Okay, so that's the schedule that's been outlined for us. It is a commercial venue. They have said that they do not allow outside food and drink. We're getting there early enough, and as VIPs, generally, what venues do is take a blind eye to people who are like judges and so forth. I don't know how strict this particular venue will be. Last year in Tacoma and in previous super regionals, they were a lot more, pretty flexible. So, I'll know more tomorrow morning how strict they are about outside food and drink. We will be having box lunches for volunteers. So a sandwich in particular, what I have learned is that if you're a vegetarian like myself, the sandwich every single day will be exactly the same. So by the third day, you may actually be thankful that you don't get the same box lunch. I think there's a couple of choices for non-vegetarians. I think probably gluten-free people are in the same boat. If there is an option for gluten-free, I have not confirmed that. So if you have special needs like that, we may be on our own. There will be a concession stand there, and obviously my goal is to take care of my judges. So let me know, and I'll do everything I can to make sure that everyone gets adequate food, because we have very long days, and I know everyone here is volunteering and helping with the venue, so I will do whatever I can to make a great experience. I'm not confident that we will actually have, bottled water. So if you have your own water bottle, plastic or whatever that we can fill up, that's probably best. I don't know if there'll be bubblers or whatever. But if you have something like that you can bring and refill, that's probably what they're suggesting. So again, I'm not quite sure how this will all play out, but we are going to have a great time. Things to bring for those already on site. It's a little late, but hopefully you did bring safety glasses. There should be extras, so hopefully that's not a problem for anyone. Please do wear closed-toed shoes, particularly on Friday afternoon and Saturday. Anytime we're in the pits with robots or near the field, we have to be in closed-toed shoes. It is a safety issue. Similar for safety glasses. We will not have to wear safety glasses or closed-toed shoes in the judging interviews on Friday morning. So if you feel a need to wear sandals or you have other glasses during the formal interviews on Friday morning, you can wear your regular glasses and open-toed shoes. If you have a judge's polo for First Tech Challenge, please wear it or bring it. We did bring some from Northern California, from the FTC West Super Regional that we ran, and but we don't have hundreds of them, but we have a couple handfuls of them that we brought up. Our goal is to make sure all of our judges are in a gold polo. So if we can get you in a gold polo, we would really be thankful for that. Want to make sure everyone feels equal footing, and that some people are in a gold polo and some are not. So we'll hopefully get everybody in a gold polo. Bring a great attitude. The kids have been working really hard. There's a lot of excitement. I got to talk with some of the teams and watch them come in today. Super motivated, super excited to be here. Obviously, your gracious professionalism, which is a hallmark of First. So should be a great experience. About the competition itself, there are 72 teams representing 12 states or regions. Northern California, as an example, has 3 regions. So we have 3 different regions in the state of California represented. In this venue, the teams have been divided into 2. So there's a Cascade division and an Olympic division. Now, they each have 36 teams, as you might imagine. And it says they'll play 9 qualification matches. I believe that is the current schedule has that. I don't think there's a risk to play more or less, so they will play probably exactly 9 qualification matches. They will play independent, so the Cascade and Olympic divisions don't play each other throughout the venue, except for the winner of one division will play the winner of the other division at the finals. So the event finals will take the Cascade winners and the Olympic winners, and the overall event winner will be announced from that. Okay. Any questions around how the competition works? It should be very, very similar if you've judged before FTC, whether it's a single division or 2 division. Nope. Okay. Things we did the last couple. Yep. Go ahead.
I've judged FRC before. This is my first time doing FTC. So, what are some of the kind of, I guess, high-level differences from the two?
Yeah, let me cover that at the end.
Okay.
But let me get through this, and then I will cover some of the major differences between the FRC style of judging and the FTC style of judging. Okay?
Cool. Sure. Thank you.
Yep. And if there are any FLLers, I can do the same, comparing FLL with FTC as well. So this is a really, really, really good thing. So last year and the year before, the Alaska partner uses something called Rained Out, which is a very cool app. It basically allows us to text a group with messages. So we have 3 groups set up. We have a super secret one for judges only. And so what I ask for you to do is to actually text the word FTC Judge, all lowercase, to the number on the screen, 84483, and that will make you join the group. And then you can opt out of it at any time. So we're not going to send you any messages after the fact. But what it will allow us to do during the venue, for example, is if we need to do a powwow or bring everybody back together, we'll do a quick group chat text that says, hey, we need judges in the judge room now, right? Or in 5 minutes, or if we're running late for some reason, hey, meeting at such and such time is going to be 30 minutes later, right? So it allows us to communicate with you wherever you're at in the venue. So please, please, please sign up for that. There are 2 other groups, one for the general event, things just of general notice. Hey, the t-shirt vendor is open. The concessions are out of Pepsi products, I don't know, whatever. Whatever text general event, kind of general messages. And then there's one for all volunteers as well. So specific messages to volunteers, maybe around volunteer check-in or whatever. So anyway, if you could at least join the judges one, we'll try to monitor the other ones, and I can't promise that we would ship stuff off. You're welcome to join all 3. We'll try not to duplicate messages, but if you could join the judges one, it would make things much easier and simpler, and that is what we would like. So I'm going to keep that on the screen. It's FTC Judge, and then the number is 84483, and then it'll ask you to confirm. And I think there's always some fine print, if you have data rates, etc. It does take your messages. So, okay. In the morning, when we come in tomorrow morning, there are a couple things that normally I try to do ahead of time, and we just didn't get that done this time. So the first thing is I ask for you to go to ftcwest.org, take a look at the competing teams, and be able to identify in the morning any real conflicts of interest. So you have a direct connection with the team or teams, or what people would call a perceived conflict of interest. We're not going to be able to eliminate all, but our goal is to eliminate as many of the real, if not all of the real conflicts of interest, as well as many of the perceived conflicts of interest. And so what's a perceived conflict of interest? So for me as the Northern California partner, a perceived conflict of interest would be my Northern California teams. People would perceive that I know them very well and I have a relationship with the coaches because they're from my region, right? So whether I do or not, you might be surprised. I don't have a relationship with most of them, but there's a perception around that. So what I ask for you to do is to do a little homework, see where the conflicts of interest, the real ones, which hopefully everyone is pretty clear on, but also we'd like to make sure that there isn't a perception given. We want the community to really have the faith that that people have not just the right spirit that they're coming to judging with, but also that it's a very fair and equitable process. So if we can at least identify the conflicts of interest um, uh, as much as possible, and just identifying that, so it's not going to disqualify you from being a judge. It's making sure that I know which judge room to put you in, which division, and that we can make it so that we have as little of that as possible. The second thing I'm going to ask in the morning is if you have a preference for or against a specific award category, or just a general bucket. So things like, hey, I'm really technical and I enjoy technical judging, such as design, innovation, control. Or I'm non-technical and I would prefer to do the non-technical judging, like the motivate and connect. Or, you know what, I really don't want to do the Think Notebook. I've done that every venue, every event, and I'm done with Think Notebook judging. Please put me in someplace else. Those kinds of things. So I'm asking for a preference. Please do not tell me that you have a preference for the Inspire Award winner, because that's not how we don't do that as a separate category. We get that from the groups, the individual judged group awards. So we pulled the Inspire panels out of the individuals. And then I'll ask, the third thing is to kind of, what is your general experience with FIRST? Are you familiar with, the goals of FIRST and the mission of what we're trying to accomplish, as well as First Tech Challenge specifically? So, what has your been involvement? As we mentioned, there's the people who've been judging, but judging on FRC land or FLL land. How many years have you done that? Have you done any FTC judging? So that way I can pair people based on experience. I can get rookies that are new to FTC judging paired with people who have experience with FTC judging, for example, as much as possible. So some things to think about. Hopefully the only one that you have a little bit of homework to do is on the conflict of interest. I have asked to confirm that everyone received the training link. The judge manual is actually online. So if you don't have the training link yet, I've asked Susan to confirm that everyone actually had received the Schoology link for the training. But at a minimum, I'm going to show you at the end of the presentation how to at least access the judge's manual, so that if you can pull it up, at least read through it, understand what awards we're giving out. I think that's important. Okay, my final slide, I'm going to leave this up for a little while, is a huge thank you. It is a huge commitment for the next 3 days. We'll see you in the morning, bright and early. The URL again, that all of the teams and all the information is on ftcwest.org. That's my cell phone number. I'm Jill. Annika's on a plane right now. That's her cell phone number. And both of us prefer text messages. I know I personally don't listen to voicemails very well. But text or a phone call if you really must, but don't leave a voicemail. But text me if you're going to text either Annika or me. Please tell us who you are. Unless I already have you in my address book, I have literally no idea. I get a lot of texts from strange people, I'll say. And so a message might begin with, hey, this is your FTC judge, Sue, and I need, or I want to tell you blah, 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 right? So for example, we'd really like to know if you are running a little bit late in the morning, particularly this first day when we have the judge interviews. We'll be trying to make sure that we have all of our 10 interview rooms filled. So that means I need 20 perky people in the morning to fill those rooms for the interviews. And if I know one of my judges is, running late or had a last minute conflict or whatever, I can make those plans, backup plans as early as possible. So feel free to text throughout the rest of today, Thursday, or into Friday, or anytime throughout the weekend. So, I'm going to leave this up for just a little bit longer. Please take a note of it. I am recording the session. I just don't know when it'll get posted and distributed to the judges on tonight's call. Hopefully soon. But that is our cell phone contacts. So that's the presentation I wanted to give today. It's kind of just an overview of where to show up and the things. Let me show you where the judge's manual is, and then we'll go into the differences between like FRC and FTC judging. So the way I like to get there is under ways to help, under volunteer. And then there is the first link. It says event volunteers, and it says read more. And it has general resources. I think for FTC, that's where it is. Let's see. Nope. Okay. There are some interesting things here, but that's not where the FTC Judge Manual is. So let's go to FTC, and we'll go to Game and Season. And now I'm really struggling. I always just do a search, and I'm trying to navigate there. So let's see, Game Materials. Here we go. Nope. Oh my goodness. Okay, Mr. Sweeter, do you know?
I'm sorry, I haven't saved in my Dropbox. I haven't looked at it in a long time.
I know,
online.
right? That's the thing. Let's see.
If you really need me to find it, I can probably dig deep and find a link to it.
So let's see.
CD might have one handy. CD?
Let's see if I can, if I struggle. Yeah, that's not useful. Okay, so let me get back into FTC and we'll do an about. I know that it's linked off of one of the right menus for FTC because I've seen it.
Can you go down to Research Library?
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's where. Maybe that's what I'm guessing. It's
yeah.
Usually I do search as well. I just go on Google.
Yeah. Let's see if this one. Yeah, this this is just a document.
Just Google for Judges Manual, FTC Judges and Judge Advisor Manual. I think you'll find. No, Google.
I'll just Google. Okay.
Yeah, Google is the best way. That's where I go normally.
A PDF shows up as the first item when you search for it.
Excellent.
There you go.
There we go. What does that tell you when that's better than their own website? Anyway, so this is the Judge Manual. So it is the first link when you do a Google search, so that's good. So let's talk through, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. That way people who are listening to this later don't see all that, but at least you now know where the Judge's Manual are. So let me stop the recording and then I'll go through the differences between FRC judging and FTC judging.